Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. Time for the 14First Alert Weather Show at 9 o'clock. It's interactive, so if you have questions, you can put them on our 14 News Facebook page comment section, and I'll be looking at those here in just a little bit. Not a bad sunset out there, considering we had clouds, rain, some thunderstorms, still a few showers out and about, but those showers are going to multiply by this time tomorrow night, and even a severe weather threat going into Thursday evening, overnight, and early Friday morning. And along the way, plenty of rainfall as well. So we have flood watch for the entire tri-state. We'll talk about the severe weather threat first. The Storm Prediction Center upgraded us to a level 2 of 5, and within that risk, damaging winds is the main threat. But I wanted to highlight there is a small, it's not 0, but 2% risk for tornadoes, basically from Evansville west over southern Illinois. That's a low-end risk, but it still means we could see a spin-up tornado or two within those storms as they come through. And we will maintain that risk for at least a few severe storms early Friday and possibly again late Friday. It'll depend on how much the atmosphere gets worked over between the two events. So here's how Thursday should play out. We will start with partly cloudy. Then during the afternoon, we see a line of storms developing in southern Illinois and moving across the Wabash River into the tri-state area here, the metro, sometime mid-evening, around 6, 7 o'clock, and then continuing on down to the southeast there, sweeping rain across the entire region. So heavy rainfall will be a concern too because of the slow movement of that first line. Then we get additional rain moving through late Thursday night and early Friday, and potentially a second line of storms Friday night. Now this is actually the tail end of one that's actually a lot farther north of us, up around Indianapolis. So we're kind of just bringing up the rear here, but if that comes through, then we would have another shot at some thunderstorms and maybe some locally heavy rainfall. Our model has been kind of back and forth on this, but generally was painting around an inch or two across the area. Obviously, it's pulled way back this evening, and that's highly dependent on storm path. But I think overall, through the weekend, between tomorrow and Saturday, it's not out of the question that some parts of the tri-state could see 1, 2, even 3 inches of rainfall. So that's why you see a flood watch for the entire tri-state. On the radar right now, we had one little shower out here to the west of the station. I think it has already kicked the bucket there. And so we are quiet for now, but we will obviously see storms and showers returning during our alert day tomorrow afternoon. We're currently at 76 degrees right now. And around the area, the temps are all in the mid to upper 70s. It's pretty humid out there, so but at this time of day, usually that heat index not as much of a factor as it tends to be during the hottest part of the day. We hit 72 this morning, and before the rain moved in, 85 this afternoon, so we managed to keep our temperatures pretty much in line with where they were yesterday, and a little bit warmer, of course, than normal for the low, but cooler than the average high. No 90-degree days this week. Big turnabout from last week. We did pick up 0.04 of an inch of rain out at Evansville Regional this afternoon. None here at the station. So for the month now, we're back by about an inch of rainfall. Now, many of you had rain. It's just that those showers didn't hit the gauge at Evansville Regional. There's that line of storms to the north, and that cold front still, I think it's going to wash out, but it may give enough of a kick or a trigger in the atmosphere to at least get that line of storms going that would then propagate and move through the tri-state tomorrow afternoon and evening. And then after that, this wide view will give you a better context for that Friday evening system. You see it's mainly centered there to the north, but we kind of get the back end of it there as it goes across central Indiana and Illinois. Over the next 7 days, our coolest days will be had this weekend when we have rain, only up to 82 Saturday, but then we dry out and temperatures are going to rise again into the lower 90s, which is where they should be for this time of the year. No significant rain chances showing up for the first half of next week on the GFS model, so you're not going to see a whole lot of additional rainfall on there. This actually takes into account the rain we're expecting here the next 3 days. So that's where we're getting that 1 to 3 inch potential rainfall. European model also drying out for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, after we have some widespread rainfall here tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. And its grand total on rainfall also considerable, but a little farther south. It places that main storm track down there. I am siding with or leaning toward that 1 to 3 inch range for the tri-state. 69 with patchy fog where the rain fell today. It's 90 tomorrow, our hottest day of the week. And then we get into next week with some quieter weather after we get through our 3 first alert weather days. It looks like it will be warmer than normal too for the middle of July, and near normal or below normal precip. All right, this story, this pet pick rather, has a story behind it, kind of sad. Tori Talbert sent this one of Akira, and unfortunately she lost Akira about a month ago, I think, went over the Rainbow Bridge. So we all know how hard that is to lose a pet, but she wanted to see Akira here on the weather show tonight. So there you go, and I'll leave Akira up there while I look for your questions. And we'll get on here. All right, we have a bunch of people on tonight. Zach Seats, damaging winds, main threat for Evansville tomorrow, overall tornado threat low. Yes, that's accurate. I would anticipate more damaging wind reports if we get any severe weather. And you know, in that situation, sometimes you'll get a spin-up tornado, but we're not looking at anything like the Father's Day outbreak, and hail would be probably non-existent out there. And Tori hopes tomorrow doesn't get too bad. You know, I mean, we've been through worse, so we're kind of hardened to this by now. Lenny Howard, good evening. Bailey Roberts, will these be slow-moving storms? Yes, and therefore they can put down a lot of rain. They have time to do that, and we have a lot of moisture or water in the atmosphere ready to rain out. Angie Wampler, how about Vincennes on showers? Yeah, obviously I think you'll get in on it tomorrow, and you have the better chance on Friday when that second line goes through if it comes together. Tina Robertson, hey from Madisonville, glad to have you on there. Jennifer Atherton, sitting on the front porch, glad you're enjoying the light breeze. Yeah, I like to do that, but we do need a break. I know it gets a little close out there, and then the mosquitoes start to come in. Justin Turnage, watching from Newburgh. Love the out and about and Science Corner on the Weather Show. Well, good. Yeah, I'd like to kind of branch out and do different stuff than just weather. We do more weather now than at any point in my career. It's like, how much more weather could there be? We're almost like a weather channel. William Raleigh, 800s today. Everything's split around a house. Everything. Oh yeah, the storm split around your house. Yeah. Tori says she lost Akira 2 weeks ago. Okay. Yeah, I saw the date, the 24th or something of June. Jeff Miller got 1/4 inch of rain in Savannah. Now that's good gardening rain, don't you think? That'll get your corn growing even more. What about Mount Carmel? When will it start raining? Probably tomorrow afternoon would be my guess. Now that's factoring out any random pop-up showers, and we get those from time to time too. So, but yeah, everybody will probably get some rain over that. Now wait a minute. Oh, there it is right there. I put it on the wrong side. Here's Science Corner for you now. We'll probably see more of will be shelf clouds out there, especially if the storms line up tomorrow afternoon and evening. And what you're looking at is basically the visual warning that you've got wind coming toward you. Shelf clouds are created by that rain-cooled air coming down to the ground within the storm. And of course, when it hits the ground, it has to spread out, and so it shoots out in advance of the thunderstorm. At the same time, that's forcing the warm, moist air out there, think of the air we have out there now, to go up and over that nose of cooler air. And right in the middle there is where you get the pointy shelf cloud formation. And so that rapid condensation can then create that other feature that we see on there. And it forms that eerie, sharp edge. A lot of people, freak out when they see that, and it's a good idea to maybe not freak out, but know that you need to get either indoors or you don't want to be out there when the storm comes through. Once the shelf passes overhead, then the winds become gusty and that temperature begins to drop, because that is basically where you're going to have your strongest winds. And shelf clouds are often mistaken for wall clouds, but they're very different. The wall cloud is a separate structure. It rotates and, of course, spawns tornadoes. So don't mistake the shelf cloud. While it looks frightening, it tends to be just a warning sign that you've got some stronger thunderstorm moving in. John Radis, what happened to the Skeeter meter? Hey, that's a good question. I don't know. It was sponsored, so I used to get an email from our sales department, and we would have that on every day. I haven't gotten that email, so no Skeeter meter. You don't need a Skeeter meter to know, though, they are active this year. My goodness. Oh, Haley Marie just mowed her grass. Well, I hope you had a little bug spray on. If you're doing it here in the evening especially, they just get all over you. I actually sat out last night, but then it was great for about a half an hour, and then you kept thinking, what is that? And then mosquitoes. And with it being as wet and damp out there as it's been and warm, it's mosquitoes' paradise out there. So we'll win. We'll beat these mosquitoes someday, but I think it's going to take all of us and many, many fly swatters. All right, I have to go get some things ready here for the 10 o'clock newscast, and hopefully I'll have a little more new data on that timing and the structure of the storms we're expecting tomorrow. But right now I'm thinking a squall line or line of storms late afternoon, 4 to about 7, sweeping across, and then maybe some overnight showers and thunderstorms, and rinse and repeat, do it again on Friday. That's all I have for you right now. Stay safe. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.